Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the best and worst beauty sponges. So I've been getting a lot of requests to compare the Wonder Sponge, which is $1 from Shop Miss A, against the Beauty Blender. But I thought, you know what, let's talk about a bunch of other sponges that are available on the market that are really affordable options instead of spending a lot of money on the Beauty Blender. This has been out for a really long time, and a lot of other brands and companies have been coming out with more affordable options, so you really don't have to spend a lot of money on a beauty sponge. I love beauty sponges so much. That's why I have tried so many over the years, because I think it's the best way to apply your foundation and concealer. Now, I have dry skin, and I definitely recommend a damp beauty sponge if you have dry skin. It just applies the product beautifully. Now, I always use mine damp, so I just run it under cold water, squeeze out all the excess, and you're ready to go. It should not be sopping wet. It should be just wet and damp enough to where it will blend the product out. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bad sponges out of the way and talk about those ones first, and then we can talk about all of the really good ones. So the first sponge I'm going to talk about is, unfortunately, it's my least favorite. It's the worst sponge I've ever tried, and it's actually a trio set. This is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is called the Precision Sponge Trio. This retails for $12, and you do get 3 sponges. You get a very large sponge, a medium-sized one, and a really itty-bitty one as well. When these are dry, they are very, very hard, but as you wet them, they do expand, and they do feel really nice and soft. So my biggest complaint with these is that they absorb so much product, and not only that, when you're applying your makeup, it applies the product and then it removes it. If you go over that same spot more than twice, it will pick up and lift off the foundation. It's so strange. And when I use a full coverage concealer and try to use this little sponge here, it just absorbs. It doesn't blend it out really nicely. I just found these so disappointing, and I regret purchasing them because it was $12. I do like that e.l.f. was trying. I completely see where they were going with this, and I commend them for, you know, trying to make a really awesome makeup sponge. They also stain very, very badly. Mine are like really gross looking. These were just a huge miss for me, and I would say pass on these. There's other sponges that are more affordable on the market that you can purchase. These were just really, really bad. My next least favorite beauty sponge, this is from BH Cosmetics. This is called their Studio Pro Beauty Sponge, and this retails for $4.99. So once this is nice and damp, it does feel really soft and bouncy, and I have used this many times with my foundation and concealer, and it's okay, but it has this really weird texture to it. I can't quite put my finger on it, and mine is already falling apart. It's ripping really badly here at the tip of the sponge. Unfortunately, this one was a little bit similar to the e.l.f. sponge, where it's really, really soft, and you would think that it would blend out the concealer and product really nicely. It's not terrible. I think this is better than the e.l.f. Precision sponges, and it does sort of change shape sometimes when you run it underneath the water and it expands. So this one is probably one of my least favorites. This is the AOA Wonder Blender Sponge from shopmissa.com. This retails for $1. I don't know what it is about the black sponges, but I've tried other darker colored sponges, and they always end up being really, I don't know, the texture is different. Maybe it's the material or the dye of the sponge. I'm not sure what it is, but this one is just a little bit off. It's not like 100% amazing. I wouldn't, you know, go crazy over it, but it's not bad. I still do use this sponge. It's still functional, but sometimes I do have issues with blending out my foundation and it looking really nice and flawless. Alright, so now that we got the really bad ones out of the way, let's talk about the best beauty sponges. So these both here are also the AOA Wonder Beauty Sponges. They're $1 each. A lot of you have messaged me and said that these are sort of a hit and miss, and that you have received a really bad one that's really hard and stiff and not good. and then another time you'll place an order and you'll get a really good one. So that is something that is a downside to these sponges, but so far I've been pretty happy with these two. And I mean, they're $1. You could definitely buy a couple of them and just try them out. So the first one here is the Teardrop Wonder Blender Sponge, and again, this retails for $1. And this one is, again, really kind of stiff when it's dry, but as soon as you dampen this one, it expands, it gets really nice and squishy and bouncy. I really love the shape of the Beauty Blender because it comes to a fine point, and this is the best dupe in terms of the shape. And if you like this type of shape with the Beauty Blender, you should definitely go for this Pink Wonder Sponge. I really love this sponge. I think it's a great option, and it's super affordable. And then the other one from Shop Miss A as well. This one is different. This is new. They just added this to their line. And this one has a flat edge. It's very, very similar in shape and size as the Real Techniques Complexion Sponge. This one is even softer than the darker pink Teardrop Sponge. And this one is just, it's so squishy. It's super soft. I really like this flat edge here because it covers a large surface very quickly, so you can get done with your foundation in a jiffy. And I don't know what it is about the pink ones, but I think they're just magical. There's just something special about the pink sponge. Super affordable. I don't think you can get any cheaper than $1, so these are awesome. My next pick is from Real Techniques, and it is the Miracle Complexion Sponge. I will insert a picture right here because I do not unfortunately have that sponge with me today to share with you guys. I did do a review on this a long time ago when it first came out. Now I will say, do not buy the double pack of these. I don't know what happened to Real Techniques, but if you buy the double pack of these sponges, the quality is not the same. So for just these single sponge is only $6.99. I recommend just buying an individual sponge. I love this sponge. It's very similar to this one here. It's got that flat edge, super soft, super bouncy, and it has like the nice pointed edge on the opposite end. And texture wise, I would definitely say this is very, very similar to the Beauty Blender sponge in terms of the quality and how it feels. Is definitely very, very similar. Alright guys, so my final pick is from Ecotools, and these are brand new. They just came out with these, and these are called the Perfecting Blender Duo. So these two come in a set for $9.99, or you can purchase this one separately for $5.99. So you can purchase the larger one if you want to. So this one is really great for doing cream contour, cream highlight. I love the flat edge on both of these sponges. The shape is just so unique and different. I absolutely love these. I think the texture is beautiful. I love the flat side of this sponge because you can cover a large surface of your face very quickly. If you're in a hurry, you want to get that makeup on and go out the door. So this really just speeds up the process even more, and I love the texture. It's super bouncy, super soft. So if you're looking for something, you want to go to the drugstore, I would recommend the Ecotools sponges or the Real Techniques Complexion Sponge. I think those are my top two picks if you want to go to the drugstore. If you want something that looks similar to the Beauty Blender, I would go with the Teardrop Sponge, the AOA Wonder Blender. I think that same shape is going to get in that inner corner really nicely. And if you just like the Beauty Blender and you want a more affordable option, $1, you guys, this sponge is amazing. So as you can see, there's a lot of affordable options out there. This is just a small fraction of what I've tried. Every brand is coming out with their own sponge, and of course I'll probably try more throughout the rest of this year. I hope you all found this video helpful. I know sometimes it can be tricky when you're at the drugstore and you can't really open up the package and test out the sponge. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will list all the products down below in the description box. If you're new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and I'm posting videos every Tuesday, Friday, and sometimes on Sunday. I will see you all in the next video. Remember, smarter beauty is better beauty. Bye guys.